Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Hey, hey, Ophiuchus. Let's get into this, shall we? So, this is a full moon message for Ophiuchus. By the way, you guys will be getting another one this week, just so you know. We will be able to get back on track to do 2 videos for each zodiac throughout the week now. But this full moon is the buck moon. And this is really special because she has deer antlers on. There's one other zodiac that got this, not this card, but got deer antlers on the card. And I can't think of who it was. I'm thinking it might have been Pisces. So I don't know if these two are going to be connected, but this is known as the buck moon because it's also the time where the deer's antlers are in like a growth spurt. And so there could be an acceleration of things during this full moon because, normally full moons are about like our subconscious and what we are bringing to the surface or even releasing. So I kind of like to look at this as like, okay, what happens after this full moon? What's the energy being activated? And then what happens beyond this full moon? So Ophiuchus, we have calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. So this is not just about releasing things, right? This is obviously, thanks to those deer antlers, this is the progression of like accelerating energy of calm, of peace. So I'm going to say this is absolutely like maybe the most, how do I want to say this? The most harmonious energy during this full moon. I'm picturing Ophiuchus could find themselves being super chill. They could find themselves listening to softer music. They could find themselves sleeping better at night. They could find themselves, just not getting riled. They could find themselves doing things that bring them peace. Like, we all have personal hobbies. We all unwind somehow. Mine, of course, involves music, listening to music, preferably like a full-on headset on, that covers the ears. So it's noise canceling. So you can just hear, it's like a, concert in your head, like, and walking. Those are my two, with my dog, of course. But those are, I guess, my 3 favorite things for like, that calms me down like nothing else. So whatever activity it is that, I'm picturing somebody who likes to like cook or something. Ophiuchus might be chilling out, relaxing right now during this full moon, wanting to do a little bit more cooking. And this could be the kind of energy that they carry on with. They might do a lot more of whatever the calming activities are. And they're just kind of like sensing, wow, my energy is getting smoother, calmer. We have, by the way, card 3. So the number 3 could be important. Hey, San Juanita. Excuse me, San Juanita. Nice to see you, honey. Okay, we do have the devil. This is very good for Ophiuchus to be focusing on the calming of the waters, because if all around them is chaos, drama, toxicity, I think this is like, it ain't my toxicity. I'm not with you all. Y'all want to do that? That's fine. I don't know if Ophiuchus has been privy to like some kind of, toxic couple that they've witnessed this, or if Ophiuchus has perhaps been on the outside of a love triangle or something along those lines, but this does not touch Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is not going to be rattled and bothered. Nope, because we have got this Queen of Wands. Okay, I am just going to go ahead and say, whether Ophiuchus is a masculine or a feminine, during this full moon, Ophiuchus may be aware that there is something about them that is alluring another person, and that is causing a rift and drama and all kinds of jazz. Like a couple is fighting because somebody is attracted to Ophiuchus, and Ophiuchus is like, I'm sorry, I don't need to be a part of your guys' drama. You clearly have other things to work out. You two clearly have a toxic relationship. There's jealousy. There's problems. It's for you. That's an SEP, somebody else's problem. It ain't mine. I can sit here and I can be beautiful, attractive, handsome, whatever. I don't have to dim my light to make other people more comfortable being around me. I feel like Ophiuchus has unwittingly become, the subject of somebody's, ire. They're mad because Ophiuchus is really attractive. And I think it's because of a jealousy, but that jealousy shouldn't be owned by Ophiuchus. Okay, so the plot thickens, because during this full moon, if Ophiuchus is picking up, hi everybody, so great to see you all. If Ophiuchus is in the midst of like calming down their energy and saying, wow, that was super unpleasant, Some couple is fighting. Technically, they're fighting about me, but I didn't do a freaking thing to deserve this. However, it could also be that Ophiuchus is a little bit more going to be pulled into this or has been pulled into it. And this is them saying, no, I set myself apart from this. This is the Judgment card. This is sometimes a card of reconciliation. It is possible that there is a marriage or a relationship breaking apart because somebody wants to be with the very lovely, very attractive Ophiuchus. Again, not Ophiuchus's fault. This doesn't, I always have a real issue with like vilifying the third party. What the heck did the third party do? Like the third party is not you're the vixen that pulled my partner away from me. No, honey, if your partner doesn't want to stay and they can be pulled away, then they're not your partner anyway. And I'm sorry, that's just the way I view it. And I mean, I've definitely have lost my partner to somebody else before. And it's like, yep, they weren't supposed to be mine. And I need to just accept that. I'm certainly not going to be mad at the person, the vixen who stole him away. If he can be that stolen away, you can have him, sweetheart. I don't think you won much of a prize, all said and done, but you can have him, and it's a little, I mean, that's just my attitude. I'm not saying I'm right. Keep in mind, very flawed person over here, but that's my attitude on that. You can have them. If they'd rather be with you, they should be with you instead of me anyway. But I'm not, the third party is not the vixen. They're not the one to vilify, is my opinion. So I'm applying that now in this storyline for Ophiuchus, because I think Ophiuchus is like, I'm going to be calm and not let somebody else who's getting pissed off at me that maybe their partner wants to be with me. But it could be that this is somebody who wants to either reunite with Ophiuchus. I mean, this could be a much more complicated storyline only because of that reconciliation story. This could be that Ophiuchus is like, oh, I had this old friend. We dated back in high school. Then many years pass, we reconnect, and now their situation hasn't been great. They've been detaching, and now it looks like they're going to do a full-on detachment because they're interested in me. I'm not the one who caused that. The problems that they had pre-existed me. If we are reuniting, I'm not going to take responsibility for tearing apart their perfect, happy home, because it couldn't have been that perfect or that happy, or it wouldn't have been like that anyway. I just don't think that Ophiuchus has to take on this stress, and this is what they're talking themselves through, even though, here's the thing, it would be hard not to be like, this is awful. I do not want to be in the middle of this. This is not what I signed up for. I am not trying to create problems, but nor what do I have to do then? Do I have to walk around and try to make myself unattractive so that I'll be less tempting or attractive or something? Like, no, of course not. I just think you have to take care of the things that you actually are responsible for, and then let other people deal with the stuff that they're responsible for. And sometimes people will try to make their problems yours. And that's where you go, nope, that's an SEP. That's somebody else's problem. I don't deserve that I didn't do this. And knowing that and standing strong in that and keeping one's peace and calm, I think is really important. So I think just right around this full moon, it just is kind of saying to get really aligned and not let other people's problems be dumped on Ophiuchus. Now, maybe there's not some weird love triangle. Maybe this is merely Ophiuchus is watching, it's awkward when you're friends with a couple and the couple's having a problem. That can get really awkward because you're like, okay, I like both of you. Please don't drag me into your stuff. Like, I don't want to not be friends with either of you as you divorce or you have your issues. I don't want to, get involved in any of this. So you guys are going to have to reconcile with the fact that I'm still going to be friends with both of you separately. This is really tough because I don't know. Ophiuchus either is finding their calm and their peace and saying, I'm moving forward with what's right for me. You all do what's right for you. Find your peace. Do the thing you can live with. For me, I can sleep at night. I didn't do this problem. Wasn't me who did this problem. But it could also be Ophiuchus is saying, I think it's okay for me to wash my hands of this whole mess. In the event this is something that I did not create, I do not need to be a part of this. If Ophiuchus unwittingly finds out that they were a third party, they could be like, oh yeah, don't really care that your relationship is shot to hell. I don't want you because you're a cheater. You were cheating with me. I find out. I don't care. I'm moving on. Not my problem. Whatever the fallout is for you too. I can move on and forgive myself for getting tangled up in this and getting lied to. I'm not going to own this as like, oh my God, I got sucked into a third party situation. I just feel like all of this is about accelerating the sense of peace by recognizing where the boundaries are of what is ours to cope with, deal with, make decisions about, and the things that are well beyond our control. So we do have strong Capricorn, we do have Scorpio, and then we also have Cancerian. We keep seeing like good vibes despite big tension in this. And we do have a Knight of Cups. Okay, so we're back to saying, I think that there is some element of love triangle-esque stuff going on here because somebody wants to come toward Ophiuchus. And I think Ophiuchus might be saying, you need to take the time and do this when it's, if you change lanes completely. If you want to approach me, if you want to step into my world, here's the thing, no blurry lines. I'm hearing Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke right now. But change a timeline, change the energy flow, officially turn on your blinker and move lanes, but don't drive and straddle two lanes at the same time. If that's the equivalent of what's been done in like romantic entanglements here. And it kind of looks like somebody wants to approach Ophiuchus like with a real offer at this point, or try to pursue romance. And I just think this is Ophiuchus saying, so here's how it's got to be. If you're in my world, you're only in my world. I'm moving forward with, you know, I'm clear. I don't have blurry lines, so you can't either. So when you're done with your previous situation, then you can approach me. If you're not done, then you stay in the lane that you're in. I feel like this person might be trying to argue their case. This is disappointing. This is not how I wanted it to be. I don't really get why somebody keeps creating drama, right? We had that toxic couple energy with that devil. And now I think Ophiuchus is like very cut and dried. Like, here's what's okay. Here's what's not. Your problems don't get to sully my life. If you're done with somebody else and you're approaching me on the up and up, totally fine. But I don't know why they're going back to, I have all this regret, blah, blah, blah. Ophiuchus is making this real tidy. And I feel like this person keeps muddying the waters, wanting to talk about unnecessary stuff. Ace of Wands sideways says, we don't have full clarity on where their intentions or their desire is. This is almost like somebody, well, I just wasn't sure. Things haven't been, I don't think Ophiuchus cares. We got the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Save me your sob story. Do what you got to do. I'm sorry. No, I'm sounding super rude right now. But Ophiuchus is saying, look, I'm keeping my calm and my peace. I don't need to hear about your drama. If you're attracted to me, but you had somebody else in your life, if you're leaving that other person, you do what you need to do and approach me on the terms that I've already laid out. But then this person seems to want to talk. And I feel like they're trying to bend rules or get Ophiuchus to bend and give them grace. Well, you see, I do want to approach you right, but you see, there's all of this painful, messy ending that's not over yet. And you see, I mean, I want to end it, but then there's some reasons that I wouldn't fully end it. But it's not that I don't want to, kind of, but I do a little. Let's just take the stress down. I think this person is bringing drama. It does feel like somebody who's not quite done with another relationship, but really wants a chance with Ophiuchus, and they've already made a mess of things. When we turn to the universe, it says, if they're trying to be the good guy or the good gal and end things nice, it can't be ended nice. Somebody's going to have their feelings hurt. So if they don't want to say that they betrayed or heartbroke somebody, either they're going to betray or heartbreak Ophiuchus or themselves or the other person, or maybe everybody all combined. We do have 3 swords after all. But you know why things get muddy is when you're not, there's always going to be some room for hurt feelings, right, in relationships. But handling things with integrity and truth would certainly perhaps minimize some of that. But you're not going to escape. If they're trying to make it so that nobody's feelings are hurt and no wrongdoing was done in this storyline, because we already saw the devil, it says that's not possible. So as much as somebody wants to not be looked at as like a villain, that they may have to suck it up and realize they might come across that way to some party involved. And if we have that 6 of Swords sideways, I mean, honestly, they might lose both Ophiuchus and whoever that other person was. It may be like, I should never have handled things the way I did. I shouldn't have blurred lines. Correct. But they're still trying to blur lines while keeping Ophiuchus when they shouldn't yet, is what this comes across as. And the outcome here says, then you're going to hurt. There's going to be bigger hurt and bigger mess character. And Ophiuchus is probably going to bounce on out of your life for good, but so too likely will the other person, because it's a shared energy of everybody moves on. You know, again, let's go back to center and say the beautiful thing is Ophiuchus is saying, not my mess, not my monkey, not my circus. I didn't make this problem. I can sleep at night. All the drama, even if it was somebody that I, fell in love with, but then they turned out to have all this drama, they have to clean up their drama. I didn't make it. So whatever they're asking me for, will I give them these concessions? Will I do this? Will I, they want to come toward me, but they still have a mess and an ending that's not over. I kind of think this is Ophiuchus saying, no, see, I'm moving on. And you can either, when you're ready, you can be in my world 100%, or you're not in my world. And there isn't really a, 10%, 90%. There's a 100% or nothing. And I don't think this is Ophiuchus being rude. I think this is Ophiuchus saying, you know how we avoid conflict, drama, and heartbreak? It's by being straightforward in what we're doing, why we're doing it, know our motives, lay it out honestly, speak truth, and have the standards where, again, you got to do what you can live with. This is where I can live. I can live in, it's an all or nothing kind of situation for me. I can move on without you if you can't be in my world and having closed out your drama cycle. I'm okay without you. And I think that that's the calmest way I could say that. I think that's what this whole message is. Ophiuchus is like, I'm okay with just having to walk away from this, because it isn't my problem that needs to be sorted. It's theirs. So really, it's more respectful for me to say, you do what you need to. No, you can't be in my life until you don't have blurred lines anymore. But when they're no longer blurred, then we can talk. I think this is Ophiuchus both like feeling better about all of this and, moving into a place where it's like, oh my God, I don't have to feel guilt. I don't have to feel stress. I don't have to wonder what they're going to do, because I'm the one in control of what's going to happen. This is my criteria. You meet it and you can be here, or you don't and you can't be. And it's not to be ice cold. It's because we're protecting our peace, is what it says. Okay, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Really good to see everybody. San Juanita, again, thank you, hun. Dana Knight, great to see you. Oh, Ella Gonzalez, did you get a good full moon picture? That's awesome. Hey, Blue Eye Blastoa. Blastoy? Cancer is, just so you know, I did the Cancer full moon message yesterday. I did that over on Tarot Dog. Just so you know, I don't do Cancer on this channel anymore. I only do it on Tarot Dog. So I'm not saying you were even wanting this to be a Cancer video, but I just thought I'd give you the heads up. Hi, Nicole Jammy. I love your name. Emma-Lisa, wonderful to see you. Yeah, definitely. Blue Eye and Dana, I hear you. Hi, Kelsey M. Right back to you, sweetheart. Martina Walsh, shout out to you in Ireland. How are you, love? So good to see you. Hi, Kins. Annette Summersby, wonderful to see you. Kit the Kid, Anisha Chatu. Yeah, I hear you. Miss Angie 504, I will. Thank you so much, love. All right, you guys. I will see you in the Gemini video. We'll do that one live next. And then after that, I'll probably walk Aries. And then I'll be back on Tarot Dog, and we'll do a video on Tarot Dog. San Juanita, yes, I will do the Gemini video will be live, and I'll do that right now. And then depending if Aries is still napping, because he had kind of a busy late evening and afternoon. If he's still napping, we'll go right from Gemini over to Tarot Dog. Otherwise, I'll have to break in between. But those will be the 2 more that I do live tonight. And just so you guys know, if you're looking for any of the other zodiacs, they've all been posted. So I did like 3 last night, and then I did everybody else today, just so you guys know. So the full moon message, every zodiac has had their first round of videos for this week so far, and then I'm going to start in on the next round. So I try, as long as the week doesn't go haywire like it did for a couple weeks, I try to make sure we always get 2 videos out for every zodiac each week. I'm not perfect, trust me. I strive for this. It doesn't always happen, but this week we should be back on for it. So current problems are fixed. Nobody's sick anymore. The family's good. I'm solid. And most internet problems are manageable at this point. So I'm feeling like we're finally riding into smoother waters. So, all right, you guys, take care. I'll see you guys again soon. I'll see you in Gemini. Hey, Sandy.